All right, so somebody sent us a video here on YouTube from King Swaggy, okay? The Swag Academy. And look at that bling. And the title of the video is Small Forex Account Traders Need, in all caps, to know this one thing. So let's watch the video and let's give some feedback.
Advice for small account traders. It's the mere concept that you're not going to make $100,000 in your first year. If you have a small account, you need to take profit if the market gives you 30 to 50 pips. You see this in the market all the time. How many times as a beginner trader have you been up $100 and you're just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. If somebody put this on the table for you right now to take, you're like, oh, nice 100. Okay, cool. Okay, it's in my wallet. All right, I got 100. And that is one of the major issues. You guys aren't patient. Make sure you start taking profits when the market give it to you. You have weekly goals of making $1,000 and the market gave you 1,200 and you got greedy and you wanted 2,500. So the market came back down to 400. And then on the next trade, you wanted to get 600 more and then you lost that 400. Now you're breaking even, then you blew the account. Take your time. When you get to your second year, your third year, it'll get better and better and better. But it'll never, ever, 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 ever get better if you try and skip the process.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack here. The Swag Academy. There's a lot to unpack here. I'm going to start it again from the beginning, and we'll pause at a couple of key moments that I picked up on.
The best advice for small account traders, it's the mere concept that you're not going to make $100,000 in your first year. If you have a small account, you need to take profit if the market gives you 30 to 50 pips. You see this in the market all the time. How many?
So the first thing is having less money is more challenging. It is factually accurate in my experience that having a smaller account does make it more challenging to generate the profits that you desire, right? So somebody has a $50,000 account and they're looking to make $1,000 a week versus somebody who has a $5,000 account and they're also looking to make $1,000 a week. You know, the person with the $50,000 account should have an easier time arriving at that $1,000 in a given week. So that is totally true based on my experience, that the less money you have, the more challenging that it is to make the kind of money that you probably want. Because again, on a $5,000 account, you make $1,000 in a week. That's a 20% return, right? Warren Buffett doesn't do that in a year. So it's totally true that smaller accounts, more difficult.
Times as a beginner trader have you been up $100 and you're just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. If somebody put this on the table for you right now to take, you're like, oh, nice 100. Okay, cool. Okay, it's in my wallet. All right, I got 100. And that is one of the major issues.
So that's an interesting thing that he says. SAC Capital, which is Stevie Cohen's former hedge fund, which is now a family office, they have a way of training new portfolio managers who come in. And the way they do it is very militant. So when you join as a portfolio manager for SAC Capital, again, run by Stevie Cohen, he's probably one of the best traders ever. He certainly has the highest fees and can get away with it. And he also owns the Mets. But what he does is when you join, your goal from day one is to make $1,000. And then what they do is you have that goal for 2 weeks in a row. And the goal is make $1,000 2 weeks in a row. If you can do that, then they bump up the goal to $1,500. And then your next 2 weeks, the goal is make $1,500 every single day. Not like most days, not like an average, every single day. And if you have a single day where you make less than $1,500, you have to go back to the previous target and do it for 2 weeks straight. Now, what does that teach you? That teaches you discipline. That makes you understand what trades really work for you to allow you to arrive at that goal the most consistently. So where King Swaggy's talking about $100, you would take it, blah, blah, blah. One of the challenges with people with small accounts is A, they have unrealistic goals, but B, he's kind of right. If you hit some sort of a goal, let's just say it's $100, you don't stop. You try to do more, you try to overtrade, you try to double down, whatever. So I think what's really good, if you have a big account or a small account, is have a goal, be militant and disciplined on achieving that goal. I got hair in my eye here. And what's going to happen is when you're militant and you're disciplined around achieving that goal every single day, if you want, like, go for it. Why not? What's going to end up happening is you're going to understand what trades really give you the best chance of getting there, what setups and what systems really give you the best chance of getting there, and which ones don't. And again, I teach people one strategy, one product, eliminate the rest. This is what Stevie Cohen does with his new portfolio managers is very simple. I'm not sure what this guy's really talking about, but it's kind of the same.
You guys aren't patient. Make sure you start taking profits when the market give it to you. You have weekly goals of making $1,000 and the market gave you $1,200 and you got greedy and you wanted $2,500. So the market came back down to $400. And then on the next trade, you wanted to get $600 more and then you lost that $400. Now you're breaking even, then you blew the account. Take your time. When you get to your second year, your third year, it'll get better and better and better. But it'll never, ever, 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 ever get better if you try and skip the process.
Yeah, one of the things, and I think a lot of people try to say this because they want to be compliant and they don't want to get in trouble with anyone. Like this whole idea of take your time the first year and then it will be better year 2 and then it will be better year 3. Like I don't really believe that at all based on my experience. I think that most people feel that to be true and most people feel that to be accurate because they believe what is required to be successful when it comes to trading is a lot. Again, in my experience, one trade, one product, eliminate the rest. If you do that for even 2 weeks in a row, you're going to understand the system about 90%, and then it's just repetition to get you there. I've worked with people, and actually I'm going to show it on the screen right now. So here we have a new student of mine by the name of Alex. He only was with us for a couple of weeks. One of the things that we do is an options trade called an Iron Condor. He didn't even know what that was 4 months ago. And yet he has a 200+% return on his portfolio in that time. How the hell was he able to do that if Swaggy King is saying, year 1 is a wash, then it will be better by year 2, then it will be better by year 3? How the hell is it possible when all these people say, expect to lose money your first year or your second year? The reason that's possible is because if you take a look at Alex, one strategy, one product, he did it every single day. And if you do the same thing every single day in the same thing, right, your odds of mastering that or becoming dangerously good at that are through the roof. So some of what King Swaggy said is great. Some of it I think is, I don't know, it's very flashy. But the reality is you should have goals no matter what. And you should try to back into those goals based on your experience and your feedback, right? If your goal is to make $100 a day, what is the way that you can get there most consistently? Great, then go to 150, then go to 200. And quite frankly, if you're not reaching those goals, go back down to an easier level, if you will, like you would in a video game or like in an experience game. And then at the end of the day, like, it doesn't take a year or two. I think that's ridiculous. I think it takes a year or two because you're watching CNBC. You're strategy hopping. You're trying this out. It doesn't work one day. You rip up the strategy and say it doesn't work. But if you really commit to one trade and one product, again, like Alex is, I'll show it on the screen again. If you really, really commit to that, your ability to understand this is super, super high because you're not pulled in many directions, and your ability to start getting very good results. Not everyone is going to make, $20,000 like Alex did in a couple of weeks. Not everyone is going to triple your portfolio in a couple of weeks like Alex did, but it just goes to serve the point that when you focus on one thing, right? When you focus on one thing and nothing else, and you eliminate all the other distractions, that is the thing that puts you in a position to succeed in a much, much, much shorter time. So again, Alex is part of the 6-figure salary system. So if getting results like that interests you, if focusing on very little interests you, if trading way less than 2 hours a day to get these results interests you, go ahead and click on the link I've added to the description of this video. What's going to happen is it's going to send you over to our webpage where you can schedule a call to speak with somebody on my team. On that call, we'll see if you're a good fit to work with us. Not everyone is, right? I got a pretty good idea after doing this, working with 6,000 students over the past 6 years, the characteristics of an individual who's going to be successful, and also, unfortunately, the characteristics of an individual who's probably not going to be successful. If you are one of those people who we think is going to be successful, we'll definitely extend you an offer to work with us. And again, we'll show you how to make a six-figure salary very consistently, really trading less than 2 hours a day. And if not, if you found this video helpful or provided you value or it helped you have a couple aha moments, go ahead, share it with a friend, like it, click the subscribe button, click the bell so you can be notified about any other videos that I post in real time. And again, don't believe the bullshit on it takes so long to get this. The reason it takes people long is because they're looking at 10 different things. Duh. But if you look at one thing, nothing else, your ability to reduce substantially the learning phase is through the roof. Again, take a look at Alex right here. I'll post it on the screen again, or maybe it'll just stay on the screen. He didn't even know what the trade was that we do. And here he is 4 months later, making $20,000, consistently doing well, and almost tripling his account. So it's very possible, but it's only possible with that focus. I'll see you in the next video.